I received a question from Stephanie, who I believe is refurbishing her house and wanted to know the best way to remove silicone. I think she's doing a kitchen refurb and maybe some laminate flooring. So I've just prepared a couple of samples here showing some runs of silicone adhesive on, this is laminate flooring, 7mm laminate flooring, and also what you find where this is a kitchen worktop, 40mm thick, where it's been sealed up against the wall, say going around pipes or something, and you've got to get this silicone off. And it's not the easiest stuff because it's very elastic and tactile. So you could maybe scrape with a chisel or a blade, but there's a far better way, and that's using the multi-tool. And the one I'm demonstrating today is the Amtech V6510. This is an incredibly useful tool and really should form an essential item in anyone's toolkit. This is 10.8 volt lithium ion powered, so it's got a very powerful battery, has a long run life, and it's very portable, so you can take it upstairs or in the loft or under a kitchen unit. In amazing places. You can see how compact it is, and the battery can easily be removed to charge. And in the second part of the video I'll go through replacing the scraper blade, which I have on here, with a saw blade and also with a polishing head. So I'm just going to show you here. We're going to remove the silicone in literally seconds, effortlessly. So I'm just going to switch the item on. You can adjust the power settings on this dial. If you were sawing or sanding, you might want to go up to number 4, 5 or 6. But just for removing silicone, I'm leaving it on number 1, which is the lowest setting. And we have a stainless steel blade here. So if you watch a minute and see how effortlessly it removes the silicone. There we have it, literally 10 seconds, and we've removed the silicone and from the worktop and from the flooring, and literally a couple of little bits stuck onto the flooring, but that is almost as good as new to be relaid if you needed to. Moving on to another function of the multi-tool, and probably the most useful in my opinion, and that's its ability to be a sander. So the previous part of the video showed it being used as a scraper to remove silicone off laminate flooring. I'm now going to show you how to use the sanding function, and I've used the Allen key and fitted this pad on here, which is sort of triangular, but it's known as a delta pad, and it just attaches with a single bolt on there. It's got hook and loop on here, so actually when you come to put a piece of sandpaper on, you just line it up with the edges on there, and that's attached ready to use. So it's as easy to attach and remove as just tearing off the hook and loop. Okay, I've got 2 bits of wood ready to sand. I've got a piece of beech, which as you know is a hardwood and takes some sanding, and I've got a piece of thin ply which actually came off a packing case, which also I'm going to show. You can go from 40 grit, which is P40, P60, P80, P120 up to P240. So the finest is P240, the coarsest is P40. It's the amount of grit on the pad. So for these pieces of wood, I'm just going to go middle of the grades and go for a P80. So you can just apply it, get it as square as you can on the pad. Like that, we're ready to go. I'm going to put it on setting number 3, that'll be ample, and I'll start with the beech first of all, and I'll just do a small amount of sanding. So, lovely smooth finish. That was with the middle grit, the P80. You could then change over to the P120 and then up to the P240 before you say put a clear varnish on or painted it so it's super smooth. If I now just swap over to the piece of ply, which is a lot softer, it's softwood, and again I'm using the P80 grit. And you can see it's soft wood, it's a lot easier to sand and more dust comes off. So again, just to repeat, tear the hook and loop off, and now we could just go, just to show you the final, 240 grit. And there we go. I've just screwed on here the blade that comes with the kit, and you can see these little holes round here. This allows you to turn the blade through in these increments round here. So even if you were cutting sideways, either way in a cupboard, you can get right into a place where no other saw would. Now what I prepared earlier, just to show the versatility, and the little plug's fallen out, but I just spent just about a minute and I've cut a square out, and if I remove the centre part of that, you can see that could easily be, if it was enlarged, for a light switch to go into plasterboard, or to allow a pipe through the back of a kitchen unit, or a drain pipe. So now you've seen all the functions that the multi-tool can offer. I've shown you how to remove silicone sealant off either worktop or flooring. We've sanded some pine, we've sanded some beech, we've used the saw function to cut a square out of a solid piece of wood. You can see how versatile the item is. If you have any other questions to do with tools for the home, garage or garden, please go to amtechdiy.com and we look forward to answering them for you.